Hi, beautiful souls. Today I'm sharing part 2 of near-death experiences in dogs, or at least in particular the near-death experience that my dog Lanto experienced, and from our communication what this means for him, what this meant for him. First of all, not as much as some people bring through, that's for sure. And that's quite likely because animals communicate in a different way. When we communicate with dogs, we tend to communicate with their higher levels. Like all beings, they have higher levels, and they also have lower levels. Their lower levels never seem to be as low as ours, though, because they are living from their heart rather from their ego minds. They're not out there you know, sort of like distorting things with a egoic mind. They are living from their hearts. So whilst they still respond to emotional energy, and whilst they still can carry cellular memory from this lifetime and even from previous lifetimes, they have a different playing field to humans to begin with. So their playing field is a lot more neutral to start with than ours, because we tend to be a lot more convoluted. What Lanto wished to share with me was that he is carrying, or was carrying, a lot of density. This is his first incarnation to the earth plane, and he's been finding it very heavy indeed. He's also experienced some very heavy trauma early on in his now lifetime, and he hasn't been able to process that trauma in the way that some dogs may have been able to, because he was then placed in a rescue, and he's just literally just been mulling over the same stuff. Now, he used to have a lot of nightmares, and I used to witness these nightmares, and then I started supporting him with homeopathy from Vince the vet, who absolutely amazing human being, and also with different essential oils after the works of Caroline Ingram, another beautiful human being. And so he seems to do really well with homeopathy, supplements, and essential oils. And recently, when he had this near-death experience, or at least it was in March, but I didn't find out about it until recently, it was his opportunity. His higher self actually created that moment for him to have an NDE, so that he could release a lot of density, because it was the only way that he could release that much. Because for him to process that much, he wouldn't have been able to have done it. He just really didn't have the capabilities to be able to release all of that in one go without having the pathway of that release. So when that happened, it was a huge, massive relief. And so he's come back, and I have noticed his nightmares have subsided. They're very few and far between, but I hadn't put that down to anything that had happened in March, because I just assumed it was all of the homeopathy and all of the supplements and essential oil applied to pharmacognosy. But he has responded incredibly well. He's going through a little bit of agitation at the moment because I gave him another general. Now, not that I did, but he had to have an x-ray recently. So I think that was just too much for his body to have two of those at one go. Not that he had another NDE. But again, being put to sleep like that was another opportunity for him to release a bit more density. So the main thing for him, and the main thing that I received from him, was that for him it was an opportunity to let go of a lot of heavy baggage. And that was the way for him, for his soul, to be able to do that and still be here in this lifetime and make the most of this lifetime. Some dogs have been here countless years. I say countless years, countless incarnations on the earth plane. They are very familiar with the ways of the different humans, and they're very brave souls because they know that once they come here, you know, they are going to be guides for these humans, and sometimes they're just going to help people to well, they're going to plant seeds for a human soul that has become too distorted. Those dogs are very, very brave because they usually have a very hard time. And when I say a hard time, I'm not even going to go into it. So every being that comes to the earth plane has purpose. It's a journey for the evolution of their soul as well. And they all have their different paths. There is, of course, some dancing in between the different species. So we dance between the species of the plant kingdom, the bird kingdom, the animal kingdoms. We dance between these different kingdoms whilst we are here. And a lot of these beings that are here, as in like tree folk, for instance, a lot of them have also travelled here to experience the possibilities of this earth plane. So it's not that everything here is just always here and that is that. There are purposes, there are opportunities for expansion, there's opportunities for exploring and adventure and for fun and for joy and for support with one another, because we are one. So we come here to be together again in a different way, in a different frequency, and to experience what it's like and to assist in raising the frequency as well in this moment. That is what we're all here for. And Lanto is very angelic, very pure of heart, and he does find this earth plane rather heavy. So he had that opportunity to release a lot of density that he'd been carrying, and I trust that's going to assist him to become more stable and more grounded with the frequencies of the earth plane. So that's what I have to share from him. And yes, I don't know how many people have ever experienced that with their dogs. It's not something you really hear about, but I thought I'd share because it might be interesting for some of you. And of course, you know, when they do pass, it's not that it's a horrible thing for them. Anybody or anything that does pass, you know, it's being here which can be challenging. But anyone that actually departs the earth plane, it's, you know, you're back to pure source. You're back to that lightness, that joy, that, you know, you release all of the density. So there's nothing to ever be worried about on the other side. It's pure and it's love, and you are pure and you're love. That's the essence of who you are. The essence of all beings is pure love. And if a person or a thing, or like I saying a thing, a thing, or another being, an animal, or anything is behaving in a way that isn't pure love, it's because they are holding on to some distortions and then some entanglements and some traumas that they need clearing. And once they have taken responsibility to clear those, then yes, pure love is the truth of who they really are, the truth of who we all really are. And we are one love coming back together. So opportunities to clear density. I feel that Lanto didn't just clear density for the density that he was carrying, but I feel that he also used it as an opportunity to clear some density for me as well, because that's how kind and loving and humble and noble animals and dogs can be. Thank you for watching. My name is ZsaZsa. If you like this video, share it, subscribe, comment if you feel called to do so. I wish you all many blessings, peace, love and harmony to you all.